enough for the beatniks. I wasn't stupid enough for the slackers. I wasn't butch enough for the jocks. I wasn't femme enough for the queens. I said, who am I?
I'll tell you who you are. You're a man who certainly inspires me. And I saw you the other night over at the place on Market Street where you had that whole room jumping, man. So you inspire a lot of people. So another thing that you and I talked about, which I'm very interested in, is helping you become wealthy and happy and healthy and doing what you're doing. And I think that I don't know whether you're going to stick with the idea, but if you do, the Dennis Perone Guest House Global Village or Network, I believe that there's a social community that can be gathered around the fact that starting with 215 and San Francisco, we are here. And it's quite a thing to be here in San Francisco and to belong to clubs and not have to be running around like you're a member of the underworld. Oh my God, and also the goodwill, the laughter, the people that are so polite. And all the clubs that I belong to, everybody is just so nice, so polite, and they really can make poor people feel like rich people, like they belong to a club.
That's true.
All right, let's push on a little more. Dennis, that's just a little overview. Laurie and I will be getting together and making a panel with all these ideas in writing.
Yeah.
And that's only a beginning. I'm sure there are lots of things that we agree upon.
Oh, yeah.
And if we differ, so what? Friends can differ too. If we
yeah.
differ, then we'll differ.
We'll work on it. We'll have a wrestling match. Arm wrestling.
So, all right, let's have a little more music then from the Bargain Basement Band and the group. And then Jennifer Glee will read. And then we'll bring in Hope Mitchell and Serona into the conversation, and we'll just do a forum and just to talk about anything.
I'm manager for my brother. If anybody wants him, you got to go through me. I'm his manager, and Hope too. Hope, I'm your manager. I'm your.
I'm self-managing.
Yeah, that's all right. Look, she did what they need.
Once I thought I saw you in a crowded, hazy bar, dancing on the light from star to star. Far across the moonbeams, I know just who you are. I saw your brown eyes turning once to fire. You are like a hurricane that's come in your eye, and I get so blown away. Some will say for weather, feelings stay. I wanna love you, but I get so blown away. For that moment I touched your lips, that perfect feeling when time just slips away between us and our buggy trips. You are like a hurricane that's come in your eye, and I get so blown away. Some say for weather, feelings stay. I wanna love you, but I get so blown away.
now a little something for the season. Hava, Nagila, Hava, Nagila, Hava, Nagila, Venice, Mecha. Hava, Nagila, Hava, Nagila, Hava, Nagila, Venice, Mecha. Ovo narandache, ovo narandache, ovo narandache, Venice, Mecha. Ovo narandache, ovo narandache, ovo narandache, Venice, Mecha. Uru achim, urachim belev sameach, urachim belev sameach, urachim belev sameach, urachim belev sameach, urachim belev sameach. Happy holidays. Would you like to do some more, or is that it?
Well, we've reached the point now where Jennifer can read to us. She's got a whole bunch of different things there that she can choose from. But Jennifer and I have been working on love energy. I call it the fifth dimension. The fourth dimension is awareness of time. That time is constantly rolling over us. And so I'm introducing something called triple three-point yoga, thinking in threes. Past, present, and future. Act 1 is everything that's already happened up till now. Act 2 is right now, in real time. From the time we got to the studio till the time we leave, then that's an increment of time in which we made this program. And then there's the future, designing the future, which I think we can have a big role, because I think all of us are practical and all of us are very futuristic and imaginative. So Jennifer, why don't we switch over to you and just read us whatever you'd like to read us for a little bit, and then afterwards we will then introduce Hope and Sirona, and we'll have a forum, a free forum where anybody can talk about anything, and including asking Dennis questions, and Dennis can ask us questions and so forth. So all right, it's over to you, Jennifer, all yours.
Okay, thanks, Judd. I'm going to read from something you wrote called What Type of Genius Are You? Great Minds Think Alike. World Academy. 2006, Judd Presmont, www.socialcapitalformation.com, 415-558-9330. And I went through it and I thought, well, I'll pick one article to read from, not many. So I'm going to read from this one. And it talks about the brain. And I think Dennis was talking about how cannabis helps the brain work in different ways. And you have included in your book something written by Marvin Minsky. For half a century, Marvin Minsky has tried to mechanize the mind. In his new book, The Emotion Machine, the AI pioneer posits that anger, love, and other emotions are types of thought, not feeling. The idea will surely stir up controversy. But Minsky, who co-founded MIT's AI lab and advised director Stanley Kubrick during the filming of 2001: A Space Odyssey, wants to make us think. His groundbreaking tome, The Society of Mind, published in 1986, argued that there's no central conductor of operations in your head, just agents working together to create awareness. In the spirit of collective consciousness, Wired, this is the magazine this is taken from, challenged Minsky to a meeting of the minds with philosopher Daniel Dennett, co-director of the Center for Cognitive Studies at Tufts University and the author of several brain books, with heady titles like Consciousness Explained and Darwin's Dangerous Idea. Wired. What's wrong with the traditional approach to how the brain works? Minsky. Physics gives us about 5 laws that explain almost everything. So we keep looking for those kinds of simple laws to apply to the brain. The idea in my new book is that you shouldn't be thinking you shouldn't be looking for a single explanation of how thinking works. Evolution has found hundreds of ways to do things, and when one of them fails, your mind switches to another. That's resourcefulness. In the emotion machine, Wired. In the emotion machine, you argue that feelings result from switching on or off certain mental resources. Minsky, the traditional view of emotions is that they are something extra, like adding color to a black and white photograph. But to me, emotions are what happens when you remove other resources. Anger means you've turned off your social graces, you've turned off your cautiousness, you've turned off your long-range plans and most of your ambition, and you've turned on things that make you act more rapidly and less deeply. Recognizing this complexity adds dignity to the theory. So just a little taste of it.
Beautiful. Not turning off one's social graces. Isn't that a beautiful idea?
Well, Hannah Arendt says that,
All the time.
if you read Hannah Arendt, she talks about evil or doing something evil is the absence of thought. Next I'm going to read from Mandala Healing, a workbook written by Judith Cornell, who has a biography about Amma, if you want to look that up in your library. I'm going to read from Amma last. This book is mainly about chakras. There's a really beautiful mandala on it. Anyway, I'm going to read from Love's Power to Heal. Authentic, unconditional love has the power to heal the body, transform the mind, and uplift the spirit. Authentic love is the essential light of your being. Every soul yearns for love. The cosmic secret is that pure love is within and all around you. You are the source of love, even if at this moment you do not believe this to be true. Pure love is a radiantly alive, intelligent, unprejudiced, inclusive energy that permeates and sustains the whole universe, including the atoms of your physical body. Pure love is the ultimate key to all healing and transformation. Healing at every level can occur when the heart is awakened and receptive to the inner source of love. Reacting to life situations with hate, anger, greed, and jealousy hinders the flow of this pure love, which is why Christ and all the great masters have exhorted us to love our neighbor as our true self, acknowledging and honoring that same divine light within them. Conditioned reactive behavior contracts the physical heart and stimulates the body to release toxins that greatly increase the chances of manifesting physical emotional disease. The positive and negative effects of thoughts and emotions on your physical self will be more fully discussed in Chapter 4, Healing the Mind. Most people want and expect family, friends, and significant others to love them, but at the same time find it challenging to give pure, unconditional love to others. Pure love has no conditions. What most people call love is a conditional response based on emotional feelings of likes and dislikes, such as when you withhold love from another as a result of distaste for that person's personality. It is also the expectation and feeling that it is a right to get acknowledgement or to be given something in return for your giving. An example of this is romantic or emotional conditional love, as portrayed on TV and in the movies. What's that soap opera that you like, Judd?
Well, what did you say?
What's that soap opera you like, The Young and the Restless?
Oh, Young and the Restless. Yeah, I kind of treat it like a ritual. First of all, I like to see how the rich people live. I like those interiors. Then I also like to see how big business is conducted. But the part I like about it the most is that they're all bipolar. They all have they all have an inner ugliness, and so they show you their best side. They're the hero, and then a few weeks later they're the villain. Same person, and you're in and you're out. You're in and you're out. Now, one of the things that in my life, I don't like people to just drop in on me. I like them to call me and see if I'm open to a visit. But in this film, nobody ever calls anybody else. They always just drop in on each other. It's the most amazing thing. Out on a ranch, and none of the executive secretaries are ever there. Anybody that wants to see the CEO can walk right in to the office. Anyway, it's a comedy. I like to see them as porn stars. They're all very, very good looking. So I like to imagine, when I watch porn, I like to imagine, now here they're twin sisters and brothers they're doing porn, and because it's the physical beauty that I appreciate.
I know, it's a job now. It's a job category. Yeah.
So,
Can I read from
now
Mama?
what was your question? What are we talking about?
Oh, we were talking about the romantic love that's portrayed on TV. You know, what and in movies, especially in film, especially, it's just been going on forever in this country anyway, since the incipience of film. It's you know, this notion that, you know, the romantic love has to be a certain way. And
I want to point out something to you, Jennifer. If you've thought about it, I just read about it the other day. 40% of children, 40%, are born to single parents. Hoo-wee. And of course the model is that you get married and you have a house and your white fence and your 2 cars and what have you, and that's success. But really, I mean, just not only that, but not only are 40% of the children born, I think that number is about how many people are having children that they don't want. So thank goodness we've had 30 million abortions, otherwise we'd have 30 million more people out there that nobody wanted. I mean, imagine being born where in a place where there's no facilities for you and there's no love for you. So this is quite a frontier that we're on, don't you think so, Dennis?
Oh yeah. It's just tip the issue.
So I'm very interested in what's going to happen with single people, and and don't forget, over 50% of marriages break up. So you've got the trauma, the post-traumatic stress disorder of children that have to deal with their breakup, and where do they go from there? That's a tough one to deal with. So
And
anyway,
so, Judd, can
I'm
I
saying
interrupt
that
you?
there are other alternatives. There's alternative ways to live. There's intentional communities where people can live in clusters of best friends, small groups. They don't even have to live together as long as they have the same special interest areas. So that's one of the things that Dennis and I have both been interested in, is community. Remember when you did the island? That was just amazing. And
I'm against gay marriage, even though I'm a gay guy, but I'm just against marriage. It seems like that's the beginning of the end.
well, why
for a
should you be
relationship.
against it?
Well,
I mean,
why do single people?
maybe it's not for you,
But
but
what it is, why are single people picked on? Why are we marginalized in society? Why do we get no tax breaks like these married people get?
all right, that's a good point.
And they get tax breaks and they get all this stuff when you're married and you have a kid. But single people are marginalized. We pay, but we don't take. We don't take a lot.
Mom with 5 kids, I got some of them.
Well, yeah, they call that breeding. They call that breeding. You're a breeder. But no, I take responsibility for, you know, your kid that you brought in the world, I hope. But people like have a lot of kids get more tax breaks. I don't understand it. Although I don't have any children, I've raised 3 kids that not fatherless, but their father's just not there, and have been surrogate. But why do single people have to pay more taxes? Why don't they get taxed? Why can't they file? And my Social Security, when I die, I can't pass that on to my brother, which I'd like to do. It just dies with me. Yet if I was married, I could pass my Social Security on to my wife. Why is this injustice with single people? It's not that I'm against marriage. I'm not.
Yeah, why
You
is it-
give
why-
up a marriage.
what you're saying
I
is-
say your marriage is a commitment that you do with each other, not with the state.
Well, there's nothing wrong with if that's what people want to do, but what you're saying is you're against the discrimination.
Yeah.
And you're absolutely right.
For single people. Why are we're marginalized? And the ones that now they're pushing in. The one good thing about being gay is you didn't have to get married. Now we're fighting for it, but you know, I'm against marriage. Period. I don't know why. I don't want any special privileges, and I don't want to be owned by somebody or have someone think they own me. I have lovers. I have people that I love. I have many lovers, and every night we're together. I call that marriage.
Okay.
We're not making babies, but it's marriage. And you don't have to make babies in this world. I mean, everyone feels like this role. I get married, I'm going to make babies.
But what you're talking about is something that's very important to everybody. That's their lifestyle choice.
And that's fine, but
But-
no,
and
they
it's
shouldn't
okay
have to
for
pay
you
for
It's
it.
okay for you to choose your own lifestyle.
Well, when I was running for governor, I had a program. I thought, you want a kid, 3 people signed for the kid and $1 million bond. Because then we know the kid is wanted and loved. And 2 people are not enough. What if someone dies? What if they divorce?
I
like you
agree
say,
that 2 people aren't nearly enough. I've seen
3.
many children, and the children that I've seen that seem to be doing best are the children that have more than 2 parents. If there's grandparents at
Yes.
home, or
Network of
aunts and
families.
aunties,
3 or 4
that
people
3
should
or
sign
4
for a kid
that
and a
they know for
bond.
their
I'll
whole
get 'em a
life,
bond.
a group of adults.
Because it takes $1 million to raise a kid, and the state raises the kids. It costs money. And let me tell you, the state knows nothing about raising kids. Any kid that goes into the foster homes is doomed.
In the system.
And
The
we're
state should-
talking hundreds of thousands of
That's
kids
the
that are
recidivism.
doomed. Yeah, you might as well say prisoner number 59, 65 when they're born because no one wanted them.
They've been institutionalized.
3 people saw it. And it's not just a right to have a baby. It's an honor to have a child. And I celebrate you. I admire you
And
because
it-
your
I
kids are
also-
good kids.
They're great.
But unless
Yeah.
you want the kids, you're really
Right.
dedicated, you shouldn't be having them.
Right.
And we're celebrating 300 million people in America. That's why are we celebrating more people. The planet can't handle that many. The planet's it's exhausted. It's exhausted. We're exhausting it with the resources.
The planet definitely does have a limited.
We have to celebrate
a
singleness.
limited carrying capacity.
What I think get driving at, celebrate being single. Let's have role models. I'm a single person. I have a great life. I'm not alone. They celebrate when you're single. You're alone. You're gonna be alone. You're gonna grow old by yourself. I'm growing old, and I'm not by myself. I'm with friends that love me. I have lovers, and I think we have to change our whole mindset about
But Dennis,
marriage
I
and that.
think you and I have a difference here. When you say I'm against marriage,
Well.
and I'm saying
Metaphorically.
that you may not choose it for yourself, but I'm not against it. If there are a certain percentage of people that want to get, like my daughter Nina, she
And what's
wants
the difference?
to be married, she wants to be monogamous, and she's satisfied and fulfilled. So I think it'll work for a percentage of people.
Oh yeah. Well, that's the definition of it.
When
too.
we were on the Phil Donahue show, he also had some social psychologists on the show, and they were making the statement that the percentage of people that are happily married, romantically married, with lasting successful marriage, it's about under 6%.
Yeah, that's what I figured.
It's about 94% are just putting up with it and dealing with it and what have you. But a lot of homes are dysfunctional. People are raised in dysfunctional, and they're not breaking them up because it's a home where they're going to go.
So it need more celebration of other lifestyles.
Yeah, right.
And we
right.
celebrate this romance on TV, and we see it in romance novels everywhere. People have white teeth to fall in love, and they have babies. But not everyone's gonna have that white teeth, and not everyone's be that good looking. And we don't have to have these role models of. You can have a role model of a person that doesn't have the greatest teeth, single, old, and having a great time, getting laid, smoking pot, partying every night.
What about you, Serona, and what about you, Hope? Have you got a question for Dennis? Anything you want to know or ask him? What do you think of this program that we're having here tonight?
Oh, I think it's great.
It's a good conversation.
Yeah, it's a global. It's a kind of a global
over.
thing we're talking about because we're talking about the whole world. Really, it's a metaphor. There's 6 billion people on the planet, and it could double. There are these ways to go 6 to 12, 12 to 24. Unless we start thinking in a global thing, and one of my things is we have to legalize marijuana. Period. Make it almost like glamorize it because it raises people's consciousness, and people will think about their actions
And
and
it
reactions.
raises it spiritually too. That's
Oh, yeah.
that's a real big
Well,
one.
that's part
This
of it,
is-
your
this-
consciousness.
The evolution of spiritual self-love. Oh my God, it's so important that if you're going to love anybody else, I believe it starts out with loving yourself.
Right.
And in my case, I love to leave room for my Creator. I believe religion is whether you believe or do not believe that there is a higher intelligence in the universe, higher than human intelligence. But I do believe we have human intelligence. I believe we exist. I mean, somebody's going to say, well, we don't exist. It's all an illusion. An illusion for what? We're a butterfly and we're having a dream. To me, I believe we exist, that we're real. And here we are. And we're born into a civilization, and when we die, the civilization will keep right on going. So here we are in this situation of this particular historic framework. Oh boy, do we have challenges, right? I don't think any of us can walk away from these challenges. I think these challenges are here, and I think we were chosen to deal with these challenges.
Or inspire other people to deal with challenges. Maybe we're here to inspire others to take these challenges on.
Well, that's what Dennis does. Dennis is a magician. As a magician, he's somebody. I don't know. Maybe it's a face, huh? Maybe he's got a face that's a politician's face. Magician's
Why?
face. No, maybe it's his smile. One of the things he's got that I noticed, I don't know if any of you were there the other night when he was at the center there at the Market Street, but I mean he got going and he was on a roll. He was on a Lenny Bruce roll. This was comedic genius.
I like to laugh
Yeah.
about better, the things that.
Well, it was stream of consciousness, and the audience loved it.
Yeah, it was me.
To me, I'm very interested in the mystery of theater. What is the role of theater? Yeah. All right, we got room for one more question. Who's got a question about anything?
Well, let's smoke a joint and think about it.
Yeah. There you go.
Who's got a fatty?
What's next?
Well, since we're all here in order to meet each other and to engage our consciousness.
Yeah.
Here we are. It's a way to get to know each other.
What I'm using as the pillars of community are 4 get-togethers a year. The picnic in the summertime. Once a year we want to go to the country. We want to go to my daughter's ranch out in Lake County. That's such a beautiful place. It's
Burning
such a
Man.
beautiful ride. And then there's Thanksgiving, and then there's the when Carista came into our life on August the 15th, 1956. So we're one of the flower tribes that's still going strong.
Yeah.
I think it's so much fun to deal with each day making a new beginning.
We're still hippies. We're still hippies are alive and well right here.
Well, believe it or not, everybody, the hour went by so fast. It's time now to address myself to the members of the crew that came out. I want you to know how much we appreciate the fact that you all came out here tonight. And I also want to address the people that are running this station, Public Access Television. 21 years I've been doing this kind of thing, and I'm just so comfortable doing it.
They've launched your career.
Yeah. I've been able to build on it with consistency, and always involving the intellectuals that I want to join with, the business-driven Peace Corps. So, okay, we're going over to the studio, to the control room, and we're going to run the credits, and we're on our way out. And anybody that watches this show and wants some literature, there's no money involved. Just give us a call, and we'll send you some literature and show you what we've been doing, what we're doing now, and what we intend to do if all goes well, if we get a good reception to our business plan. So I'm going out now and turning it all over to the control room.